Hi everyone, it's the Disheveled Goblin. I asked a bunch of random content creators to send me their interpretation of what a meaningless award ceremony would be and just have fun with it. The end result is what you're about to see. I tried to patchwork it together the best I could, but the end result is chaos, and some of you will love that, some of you will hate it. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the Fantasy Awards of 2021, the year of adaptation. Welcome everybody to another year of the Fantasy Awards. I am your disheveled goblin host, Daniel Greene, and today I am joined by our co-host, Kayla Torreson. And what we're gonna do here today is present a bunch of awards that, do they matter?
Not really.
But I would be remiss if I didn't start these awards by thanking those who made the channel possible in the first place. Who are they, Kayla?
Our sponsors.
The sponsor award will be presented by one of the most well-known sponsors here in the Goblin Clan. Campfire. Take it away, guys!
Thanks, Daniel. We are unbelievably excited to present the 2021 Fantasy News Best Sponsor Award.
And we're really excited to win the Best Sponsor Award 2021.
We're just here to present it. We don't know if we've won it yet.
We're excited to win.
Well, sure. We're excited to find out who won.
We won the award.
Listen, hey, you always get your hopes up with these things. You set the bar way too high, your expectations too high, and then when it doesn't meet your expectations, you kind of crash and burn. So I need you to reel it in a little bit, because I'm the one who left to pick up the pieces, right?
I don't do that.
The Fantasy News Award for Best Sponsor of 2021 goes to Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow?
Yeah. Congratulations, Raid. Good job.
How could he do this to us? How could he do this?
It's fine.
How could...
We don't know what's going
We
on.
let him get away with so much in our ads.
Well, yeah.
And then he does this to us? He should have Raid Shadow Legends?
It's not a big deal.
He had like a whole fight with them.
Daniel? Daniel? Oh, shit. Okay. No. Oh, no. I do not want to do that. Oh, no. Oh, you're seeing our house. Oh, this is okay. Hi. Oh, God. What are you doing?
I'm streaming on twitch.tv/fantasy news.
We're still doing the Fantasy Awards.
Wait. And now for the award for best guest spot on the channel. Cut away to man carrying thing. Hi, Jay.
Wow, thank you for that glowing introduction, Daniel. I mean, the Picasso of YouTube. I don't know what to say. Thank you. I'd like to introduce the award for Best Guest Appearance on Daniel's channel. It was a wonderful year for the Goblin, but he had some help from some excellent guests, including Murphy Napier, Fonda Lee, and even the man himself, Brandon Sanderson. But only the best and the brightest can win this award. Without further ado, the nominees. In If Lord of the Rings Was Published Today, Man Carrying Thing. For Fantasy News, Man Carrying Thing. That was actually when Daniel was in London and he let me host the show. And for Fantasy Jeopardy, Man Carrying Thing. That's without further ado, the winner for Best Guest Appearance on Daniel's channel is Sean Astin. And Dear and Murphy Napier, I win. Back to you.
Now for the award for best fantasy-related content on YouTube of 2021, and the nominees are Nerd of the Rings. Wow, what amazing Lord of the Rings content. Captured in Words. Wow, what amazing fantasy-related content. I don't know what to say. I'm just like filling in gaps here. And the final nominee is Wizards and Warriors. And the winner is what? Who's this from? Oh, okay. And the winner is Wizards and Warriors. Outstanding job, guys.
Wow.
Outstanding.
Great
Wonderful.
content.
All right. I know some of you are a little sick of the joking, and you would actually like to see my thoughts on some of my favorite things, categories of the year. And while I personally think most award shows are a total joke, I completely understand wanting to get some kind of catharsis at the end of the year and get the wrap up of the best of what we as a community consumed of 2021. I thought it would be only right to add in one of the fan favorite categories and take it a bit more seriously, and that would be best cover of any book read here on the channel in 2021, and we have some awesome nominees. First up, we have Shards of Earth by Adrian Tchaikovsky, and holy crap, this is one of those covers that just tells a story for you and asks so many questions you want to just dive in deeper. Why is the Earth tearing apart in such a strange way? Oh my god, there's ships up above, and what is this cloud? Is there something sticking out of the earth? This is the kind of cover that I can see myself as a young man or as an adult getting enticed enough by just on that alone, let alone the author's crazy reputable name, to go ahead and pick it on up. We also have Dan Simmons' Hyperion. Yeah, I actually just finished this whole series this year, but I'm going to include this first one because I absolutely love it. And the more I've looked at it, the more it's become one of my all-time favorites. It's majestic and more thematic to the story itself. It has this beautiful classic style art and a depth of color that genuinely just feels like I could see it up in any museum on the planet, and it would absolutely hold up with the best presented. Coming to a conclusion, the Expanse series dropped some artwork this year that absolutely took my breath away. One of the dumbest things I've ever said here on the channel is that I don't like Leviathan Wake's cover art. I adore it the more I've looked at it, and Leviathan Falls continues the tradition of the Expanse series, having such enticing pieces on the front, and good lord, is this a proud conclusion to have, again, telling a story, having artwork that pulls on you, the reader, and feels like in itself, in its presentation, a conclusion to the series. Beautiful. And you saw it coming. You knew it was gonna be here. Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, one of the most breathtaking pieces of art in terms of scale I have ever seen on a book cover. Good lord. Talk about getting the assignment and going the extra mile. This is the first cover I can ever remember as an adult looking at going, wow, once I noticed the smaller fine detail here. There's something about it that just matches the name epic fantasy perfectly. Before we announce the winner though, I actually asked you guys on Twitter what were your favorite covers released this year, and I just want to throw some in here because I think they're absolutely brilliant, and even if I didn't read them, they are worth a mention. We have Iron Widow, The Black Tongue Thief, and Steven Eriksson's The God Is Not Willing. And in maybe the most subjective category of them all, I am going to go ahead and give the award to Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I don't think anyone could blame me. It's not the most beautiful, but when we're talking sci-fi fantasy covers, I have to give extra bonus points for just getting the genre title job done. And even more so than Adrian Tchaikovsky's Shards of Earth, I feel like this boldly makes a declarative statement of genre, and it's just so fierce in its presentation and in buying into modern trends and making them work. So Shadow of the Gods gets it. For me. And now for a very exciting new category. Who are we cutting to?
I believe his name's Tim?
Tim from Hello Future Me. He is going to be presenting an award he came up with all on his New Zealand own. Beautiful country.
Oh, it is. Lovely.
Not real though. Not real.
Hello, my name is Benedictine Hooperschnatchen's terrible American accent, and I am here to present to you one of 2021's Fantasy and Science Fiction Awards. Tonight's award goes to the best television series that I have not watched, because these things are being produced so quickly these days that no reasonable person could possibly watch all of them. So first up we have, drumroll please Karen, Shadow and Bone, yeah, that's right. And then, of course, we have The Witcher Season 2, yeah. And how could we go through this without mentioning Fate the Wink Saga, yeah. I see you in the back there, both in the back of the auditorium and in ratings, yeah. Of course, we have a foundational part of the science fiction and fantasy genre. Absolutely. And last but not least, we have, and this is my personal favorite, any Marvel TV show. Yeah, any of them. Any of them at all. Let's get on to the winner. We have... All of us are the winners because we live in the golden age of fantasy and science fiction, don't we? We have...
Now, of course, I'm going to take another fan favorite category rather seriously here, and that's going to be Best Villain of 2021, because who would I be kidding if it wasn't mostly the villains we are here for? I love a good hero, don't get me wrong, but it's the antagonist that so often makes the journey. And we have more than a couple notable nominees, especially because I'm going to be tying in the visual with the pages. That's right, we're going movies and shows together with books here. Fight me, it's my award ceremony. The first nominee we're gonna have, though, is of course Kyle from the Live Ship Traders, a character so violently hateable he actually made me want to throw my book across the room at several points, just in the off chance that it would somehow travel through dimensions and hurt him. F you, Kyle, I still stand by that. And if you happen to be someone named Kyle, I automatically hate you too now. Next up, we have a twist villain from The Lost War. This one, it's an indie book, and I don't want to spoil it because so many people haven't read it yet, and I'm hoping it catches more of a crowd. But if you like a book that's able to drive a knife in a way that you might not see coming, especially from an indie author on this level, it is truly fantastic to see. I know some people aren't willing to read a book just to get to a certain end, but this is one of the ones where I promise you, it's worth it. Now, switching on over to the two show-based nominees, we have Midnight Mass with Father Paul. This is the kind of villain where I see people debating whether or not he's a villain at all, and all I can say to that is regret does not equal redemption, and this man is someone you feel for every single step of the way. He is misguided, he is a catalyst, and what springs off from him is so goddamn terrifying. And in terms of villain arcs, Father Paul takes the cake for it to me easily this year. Oh my god. And next up, we have maybe the most emotional journey any villain took me on outside of just the raw hatred of Kyle, and that is going to be Jinx from Arcane. Stupendously developed and tortured. Seeing this character fall to pieces within Arcane was... Well, Arcane may have had a little bit of slump in the middle. The beginning and end delivered like a masterful boxer, hitting me in all the feels, and I loved it. And I'm gonna change my next nominee because it was going to be Kato from One Piece, but I think that might just be how much I'm enjoying what's happening currently in One Piece, and I'm actually gonna pull myself emotionally out of it and instead say the villain that's made the biggest impact on me, and that's going to be Doflamingo. This guy just gets in your space and he feels so slimy, and there's just something about him that works not only within the One Piece world, but as a greater villain overall. I'm a very big fan, and that's going to be my final nominee. And the winner is split between Kyle and Father Paul. I'm not going to go ahead and give it to just one. We're doing it two different mediums here, but I'm basically using this as an excuse to say, one, read Live Ship Traders. It's brilliant, and Robin Hobb's character work is the best of the best. Oh my God. And Father Paul, in terms of having a well-done arc for a villain and having one that is well-motivated, watch it. It's one season and done on Netflix. Father Paul. But quickly before we get to our next award, we have a special announcement from the Big Mouse himself. That's right, Mickey is here to say he is going to finally pay.
I thought you said make him pay.
Okay, next up we have Best Series I Finished in 2021. I don't have to have started it in 2021, just either caught up to current release or finished as a whole within the year. Now, the nominees to this are super obvious. First up, we have One Piece, the manga epic that has convinced me this genre can not only deliver a great story, but can be just as poignant as some of the all-time greats of the genre it comfortably relies in. And yes, its genre is fantasy, not manga. Its medium is manga, and the medium takes nothing away from the story being told. Next up is going to be Murderbot once again. This is the adaptation that's been announced I am most looking forward forward to. It's because I deeply, deeply love this series and character. I cannot wait to see this brought to the live action screen. Then we're gonna have Red Rising, the absolute underdog series here on the channel. I started out not liking Pierce Brown's writing that much, and now we are at him being in one of my all-time favorite sci-fi authors with his latter work in the Red Rising series. Pierce Brown has learned to become the absolute apex author for the story he wants to tell, and seeing someone grow so strongly is just magnificent. So I had The Expanse as a nominee, but I referred to it as Leviathan Falls for the series, so The Expanse, and special shout out for also having a great show. It took me a minute to really get into it, but I did end up loving The Expanse show. And then we have two more nominees with The Age of Madness by Joe Abercrombie. This story came screaming out of Joe Abercrombie's pen. He writes with as much venom as ever, making you slowly get pulled hypnotically deeper into these terrible tales he tells. Wow. Before this trilogy came out, I think Joe Abercrombie had a little bit still to prove to be considered one of the greatest the genre ever saw, and after he has finished this latest trilogy, don't see many people questioning him getting that level of respect. And of course, the final nominee is going to be Fonda Lee's The Greenbone Saga. The final book, Jade Legacy, I gave my favorite book of the year to. I think it is the strongest book of the trilogy, which is impressive because I found the quality to just go up, and up. And the winner is The Age of Madness by Joe Abercrombie. I almost made this a three-way tie between One Piece for redefining how I view an entire source of media to consume, Greenbone Saga for ending on such a solid note, it actually got strongest book of the year from me. But looking back on the entire series, Joe Abercrombie's Age of Madness is pretty much on a consistent level of near perfection. It's just fun.
Get rid of it.
And so for this next award, I'm going to cut to the content creator I maybe trust most to deliver quality content. And that's going to be Amanda the Jedi, speaking on how many adaptations we have gotten. Because boy, oh boy, Kayla.
What a year.
We've gotten a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, so many.
Thank you, Daniel, for those kind lies. So our next category is, of course, the highly anticipated the best sci-fi or fantasy novel that wasn't adapted in 2021, as in, thank God they didn't adapt this because holy shit, it's so bad. And of course, the winner, with no other competition in the category, is Ernest Cline's Ready Player 2. Yes, everybody clap for Ernest. Yay. Hang on, I'm getting a little something from the production team here. What was that?
What did we just do now?
Best adaptation that didn't happen.
Okay.
Or the one we're most grateful didn't. It's getting weird.
But
for this next award, we're going to get a little more serious, and we're going to have Quinn from Ideas of Ice and Fire give out the award for Best Sci-Fi Fantasy Movie of 2021.
I know what I'm choosing.
Awkward insert joke.
Oh, how awkward laughing.
I'm Quinn's Ideas, the greatest and most famous YouTuber of all time. I'm here to present this year's award for Best Sci-Fi/Fantasy Movie of 2021. Lots of great fantasy and sci-fi films came out this year. David Lowery's The Green Knight combined haunting visuals and superb acting with one of the classic Arthurian legends about courage and honesty. And there were plenty of other great fantasy and sci-fi movies this year, such as... I guess Free Guy was okay, it's alright. But the best fantasy or sci-fi movie this year is pretty obvious. It's all about sand and time and the bonds of family. Now, if you're a fan of my YouTube channel, which you probably are because I am the greatest and most famous YouTuber of all time, as I mentioned before, then you probably already guessed what movie. So without further ado, it's time to announce this year's winner for Best Fantasy/Sci-Fi Movie. And drum roll, please. And the winner is M. Night Shyamalan's Old. I have no idea why everyone hated on this movie because it was honestly one of the best sci-fi comedies that I've ever seen. I couldn't stop.
That movie's actually not a comedy.
What do you mean it's not a comedy? It was funny as
Everyone was ready to give M. Night Shyamalan another chance, and then he made this.
The whole time they were serious.
They were totally serious the whole time, I swear to f***ing God.
Well, I guess I gotta give it to Dune then.
You take a lead on this one.
No,
Yeah, go right ahead.
No. Don't make it awkward. Please don't make this awkward. Please just do your damn line. You throw me off.
Okay. okay. I know some of you guys want some more serious fantasy awards, so I'll go ahead and give you another one right here, because while I agree with Quinn's giving Dune the best movie released in 2021, there was also a spattering, more accurate to say a flood, of fantasy sci-fi TV shows released in 2021. And a lot of them were really great. The competition is high as heck. We have an actively ongoing season of The Expanse that's pretty darn good, The Wheel of Time, Witcher Season 2, and those aren't even the ones that are gonna make the nominees. It's kind of crazy. But let's go ahead and get into the shows that I thought were the best of the best, the cream of the crop, that I also happened to have watched of 2021. Arcane make an explosive debut on Netflix, doing far better than I think just about anybody had hopes for it. This League of Legends adaptation could arguably be the greatest video game adaptation of all time into a TV show. Castlevania is something I just started, and wow! This is a beautifully brutal and grotesque show. We had Invincible, which is pushing a similar bar in terms of the Arcane adaptation and being almost a universally approved show by the original comic book fans. I have not seen one person who likes the comic book complain about this show. Magnificent. I'm so happy this wasn't live action. Oh, damn it. And then we have just barely making the nomination list, we have Shadow and Bone. No, this will not be the winner, I'll go ahead and say that now, but I rewatched it, and it has a charm to it that reminds me that not every adaptation is trying to be Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, and they're forging their own path. Season 2 of The Witcher also did this for me. It feels bold and distinct, and while it's filled with tropes and cliches, that's the point. But the Fantasy Award for the best adaptation of 2021 is, of course, going to go to Arcane. I rewatched this, and it's pretty much a 10 out of 10. My only complaint is that we have forced in Imagine Dragons beats, but I get that there's a thing with the fans there and a history of marketing, so fine, but it is damn near flawless. The atmosphere, character work, animation, voiceover, each of those categories is some of the best I have ever seen for a show like this. Netflix does have a throw it all at the wall mentality and see what sticks. This one is sticking. And this next award is going to go to Best Action Sequence in any live action sci-fi fantasy show.
Remember, this can be anything from Wheel of Time.
Why can't this be Wheel of Time? Oh, right, because everyone accused me of being bought and paid by them. Well, guess what? Hey, they're not even going to have any nominees. It's just gut watch. Take it away, Matt Hatch, the guy.
I have the honor of presenting the 2021 Fantasy Award for the Best Live Action Sequence. And the winner is the Blood Snow sequence of The Wheel of Time's Episode 7.
Okay.
Is she pregnant?
That's crazy. The chick blood and she's fighting.
God, fighting a war where she's going into labor and still kicking ass.
Oh my goodness, she got a baby coming. What is she doing, bruh?
And she working out.
Oh my goodness. She got a kid and treated you like a kid. Now just stop, bro. Ooh! Oh!
Incredible.
Mercy.
Yeah. Oh!
Bro, just stop. Say sorry and move.
Are you petty, bro?
Hey. Oh, shoot. She gonna deliver that baby right there?
So congratulations to the Wheel of Time team and actress and stuntwoman, Magdalena Sitova.
Well, Kay, we've had a lot of fun tonight.
Oh, it was so much.
Wow, we've had a lot of fun here tonight, Kay, haven't we?
Oh, we sure have.
Before we wrap this up, though, I want to give out one more kind of serious award, and that's going to be the You Stole a Place in My Heart. This is for a series that it's going to live with me forever till the day that I die. And pretty obviously, you've been paying attention here at the channel, it's going to be One Piece. This was one of the most incredible pieces of media I've consumed as an adult. As I first started, I'd say for the first few arcs, I was kind of judging it like, yeah, it's manga, whatever, I'm having fun with it though, it's okay. But something happened where I just absolutely fell in love. The more I paid attention, the more depth I found to these characters and stories and worlds. It is truly one of the most similar to Discworld pieces of media I have ever seen, and that's a compliment in the highest regards. So I'm going to give out a special feel-good award to One Piece, just in terms of appreciation. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it on up with one of the longtime friends of the channel, Captured in Words, aka Jay, as he presents Best Book Release of 2021. Take it away, Jay.
Hey, Daniel. Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of something. You know space? Yeah, like the outer kind. Turns out there's books up here. I think the Vatican's been hiding them. You're doing fantasy awards again. Didn't you do that last year? Oh, it's like a yearly thing. Yeah, I could probably do that. Many incredible books released in 2021. I'm Jay from the channel Captured in Words, and I'm gonna be telling you which one I think was the best release of the year. Here are my nominations. The Fall of Babel by Josiah Bancroft, the amazing final book in the Books of Babel series. Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee, the final book in the Greenbone saga. The Wisdom of Crowds by Joe Abercrombie, the final book in the Age of Madness trilogy. The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, the beginning of a Norse-inspired epic fantasy. And Fugitive Telemetry by Martha Wells, another solid Murderbot Diaries novella. And the winner is... none of them. They're all pretty good. Oh, you need me to choose a winner. Okay, Daniel, I'm in space right now. There's no oxygen up here, and it's really affecting my decision making. Let me just land first. I love you too. So after thoroughly thinking it through on my way down, the winner of the best release of 2021 goes to... The Wisdom of Crowds by Joe Abercrombie. This is easily one of his best works yet, it's one of my personal favorites, and it's one of the best books of the year. Obviously, that's why I chose it. And as for the reward, you can have this key. It opens the moon, and this coin. It will keep you safe at night. These are now yours if you want them.
Do you want to change shirts for this last one? It's been an amazing year for fantasy and for our lives. So I would like to go ahead and close out this awards by saying thank you to everyone who liked and subscribed and made my life possible. I appreciate it. 2022, we had a lot more of the same.
Happy 2022!
Bye!